So, Dylan, you'll appreciate this comment. Hold on. See if you can see it.
No, just read it, you dork.
See what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't care about any of it because it's New York. I'm just saying, like, it's a good experiment for the left to see how bad their policies are. Oh no, nobody right now. We're on the same board. Trump is atrocious. Oh, okay.
It's possible.
That's crazy. What's the reasoning behind it?
Yeah. That sounds bad. How crazy is that? Wow. That
So,
does sound
dude,
nice.
it's just more. It brings more people to my side. It's crazy. Alabama's not my side. Yeah. Well, it's not as weird as Nelson over here looking like a boogaloo boy.
Oh, thank you, Dylan. I appreciate
Fucking
that, bro.
boogaloo boy. Nelson doesn't even know what a boogaloo boy is.
I definitely don't know what a boogaloo boy is.
Google it, Dylan. Then you'll laugh.
I don't know. Yeah, I think so. It's some kind of weird looking plants and cactuses and beautiful colors. It's a great golf shirt. It stays cool. It's my party shirt.
It's a LARPer that wears those kind of shirts that carries around AR-15s everywhere. It's the Boogaloo Boys. I know. I told you.
Well, do they play golf?
I don't know.
I mean, if they play golf, it makes sense to wear shirts like this. We all wear shirts like this.
No, it was a whole movement during the first Trump administration. They would wear like army gear with that shirt and like go do protests and stuff.
That is really strange. Yeah. I'm not mirrored. Oh yeah, I forgot that we wanted to talk about that. No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. I think that if we can, well, it's I'm wanting to have a nuanced conversation without even having like a side necessarily, because I agree with you on the fact that like if you allow one religion into a school in America, we need to allow all religions into school. I'm rolling with that. But
I disagree.
When you look at the Ten Commandments as a historic document that our country from my gathering, from what I can understand, our forefathers and the people that wrote the Declaration of Independence, uh, they believed in the Ten Commandments, and uh, I guess I'm saying like if a teacher chose that, you know, in her classroom she wanted to put up the Ten Commandments, I think that that should be allowed because it's not pressuring you or pushing you into Christianity. It's just like a basic set of principles. It's a basic set of laws. It's like something is greater than us, and this is why we have to abide by these basic laws. Like don't kill, don't steal, don't. Well, but where it can get tricky with Christianity is like um you know, like false idols, do not use the Lord's name in vain, things of that nature, but that's not bad for you. And I think that like when you start talking about Muslim religion and Jewish religion, I'm not super sure about this, but I think that they believe in those same 10 commandments. So it wouldn't be exclusive to them. It would be including all. But I don't think, let me make sure this is clear. I don't think that our government should force every school in the United States of America to put the 10 commandments in the school.
I think it's a. I think it falls on deaf ears. I don't think it matters. It's like the most useless policy to talk about because Trump is, made $4.8 billion in 2 years. I don't give a fuck about 10 commandments. Let's put him in prison. How about that?
Well, Dylan, you opened the conversation. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
here's an example. Here's an example. There's a program called First Start where kids that need help in their like their formative years of speech or hearing or whatever, right? Two my wife says only one of our daughters used it, but it was both. It was two. It was two. And so
I
we
asked Dylan
that
about this when I found out about it, by the way. He told me not to do it.
so First Start was
Well,
extremely
not
helpful
not
for.
to do it. Sorry, I didn't mean. Dylan's giving me the funny look. You didn't tell me not to do it, but you said it, I'll tell you in a minute. Sorry, Silver,
So,
you go ahead.
oh, you're good. So First Start just helps. It's really good for people. I was extremely. We were like near poverty when this took place. So it was a government assisted program to help kids make sure that they're ready for kindergarten.
Oh
So like
no,
ours,
I'm
ours.
sorry. I
So
was thinking of the wrong thing.
our school district didn't have preschool. They do now, so they don't use First Start anymore. But for school districts that don't have preschool, it's basically preschool to get your kids ready, especially ones that are underdeveloped. So it was huge for us. And now the Trump's administration is wanting to get rid of that. Okay, can we start with, I don't know, $1.5 trillion in the military industrial complex? Why are we taking away shit from the kids? Like, I don't like see that. I would rather talk about that than 10 commandments. I don't give a fuck about the 10 commandments because the politicians don't give a fuck about it. They don't practice it. So it's like, what do we care? The kids aren't going to pay attention to the 10 commandments. They don't care about it. Like nobody cares. It's a useless topic. But
Oh
as soon
no, I
as you
don't think
put,
that at all. I think you're crazy about the kids. I'm with you about the government. Like I'm with you that nobody in the government cares about the Ten Commandments, but I'm not going to sit here and act like even though I don't believe that it should be pushed into our schools by the government, I'm not going to sit here and act like it wouldn't be beneficial to some people in the school system if it was there. Let them cook. No. Yeah, I'm not I'm really trying my best to like get y'all to have the conversation with me not based off the fact that I'm a Christian. Like look at it as a historical artifact. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yes. No, I don't think so. Like, if I'm just saying, like, just, growing up, like, y'all both saw him. Y'all both have gone to Catholic schools and stuff like that. Y'all have seen, like, you know what I mean, like posters with the Ten Commandments on it. I'm just saying, like, if all it says is the Ten Commandments on it, then the reason that I asked you this question is because there was some podcast that I was listening to debating it, and I don't think that it's was that it? I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad to have the Ten Commandments in the classroom. I don't think that it should be I don't think it should be forced. Like, in the same way, I think in America, if my mom, who's a teacher and she believes in the Ten Commandments, if she wanted to put the Ten Commandments up in her classroom, I don't see a problem with that, in the same way that I wouldn't see Indian teacher putting up like Hindu principles that he believes in. And then kids can see different cultures and different ways of life, and you know
I don't know. I think
unless that belief system was like in direct contradiction of our country and our principles and our laws. Yeah, read a couple of them.
we've gone over this before.
I remember. I believe that the
Yeah.
satanic rituals would probably be in direct contradiction of what our country stands for. Yeah, that sounds satanic. Yeah.
It's basically it's libertarians trolling the government to that's all that's
Yeah.
what it is. It's a good thing. It's not a but they mask it in this
I don't the only
facade.
beef that I have with that is masking it as Satanism. It's not satanic.
That's
You
the
know what I
point
mean?
though. That's the
I know.
point though.
I know, but that also opens the door for like an actual Satanist or a kid to, instead of like, oh well, I can understand this. Like, let me check out this Bible thing, or let me check out this Quran thing. It would turn into like, well, let me check out this book of Satan and see where it leads me. And mhm. Oh, I have no idea. But do what thou wilt is part of like, you're not God's being, you're your own being. Um, I don't know. I don't know what it says. I don't play with that. Yeah, I do too.
I I don't
I
even
do
dude
too.
like the you can put the rules of the school on the wall and no kid is ever reading that shit. Like to me it's useless. Like it doesn't nobody cares. I do Nelson, when you were in school, you didn't pay attention to any of that anyway. So like
No,
that's my point is
I
it
didn't.
doesn't matter.
I Dylan opened the door for this conversation, not me. I would like to point that out.
Oh no, no, I like the topic. I'm just saying my personal thoughts on it is I don't even want to, you know what I mean? Like I care more about how terrible this all is. I don't think the government should be loaning for colleges anyway. So no, I don't. No, that's what caused the schools to go 1,000% increase in tuition fees because they could 100% backed by the government, so they could just keep bloating the personnel. It's a complete. Your boy Oliver, what's his face?
Oliver
The
Anthony Jr. or whatever.
no, the Oliver, the comedian on HBO. Anyway, he had a show that like he did a whole special, like an hour long special on tracking what caused colleges to get so outrageously expensive. It's 100% the government's fault.
Oh, I
I mean,
wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt that.
It's
It's got to
really
be based out of greed,
it's crazy, dude. Like
right?
it's so inflated.
It's got to be greed based.
Would you if you had let's say you were worth $1 million, would you loan my 18-year-old daughter or soon to be 18-year-old daughter $100,000 to go to college? Okay, so my point is that's what the government does. They give all these kids who have zero credit the value of worth of $100,000+ in loans to go to school, and it's all inflated, and then they have to pay it back. Like it's the interest rates are insane. Like the whole thing is just a complete scam. And I don't know if I could get into it. You should watch the video. Do what? Like, but well, they explain. That's part of it. It's guaranteed. It's subsidized. Right. So because that's what I'm saying. Right.
But I think the main issue is that kids don't know what they want to do at that age, right? Like you go to school for a couple of years, change your mind, and then you just feel like you wasted all of your money and you don't want to pay it back because you don't feel like you really got a return out of it. There,
What?
that's crazy, bro. There's a huge problem with student loans. That's the problem. No, I don't think so. I don't think that we can take all of that off of the teachers and the system and the educational system that you're borrowing money to pay high dollar to go to, and then you don't get the return that maybe you deserved. Like, there's a lot of people. No, I don't know if that's your fault. There's a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of that for sure, but there's a lot of people that there's a lot of people that there has to be a lot of people like I would assume that the graduation rate from like a technical college, for instance, would probably be better than a university college because those people are going in to learn a trade and they get a return on their investment and they know what they want to do and they do it versus the people that are going off to college at 17, 18 years old, really just to kind of live an experience, which I think is important. And you go out there and you live this lived experience and 3 years in, you realize, oh my God, this isn't what I want to do. It turns out I don't want to be an art instructor. I want to be a businessman or whatever, you know what I mean? Or I want to be a doctor. And then you've wasted 3 years and all of this money. And there should be some kind of educational aspect to this education system where they're trying to help guide you mentally as you're fleeing from your parents and going into the real world, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think there definitely needs to be more like better financial education, but I don't
Yeah.
think the answer to kids are irresponsible is don't try to make loans cheaper for people or add extra ways to get loans for people that want to get them.
I sent y'all the link. Y'all can watch it after the pod, but it's John Oliver. That's who he's. You should recognize him when you see him. But anyway, like one of my coworkers, his daughter's getting ready to go to school. She's going to go to UNT, which is a school here locally. It's $40,000 a semester. There's no rhyme or reason for anything to ever cost. That's insane, dude. That's crazy expensive.
Yeah, but have you I mean, theoretically there's there could be value there for what you actually pay for.
Dude, the industry itself has been. You should look up the stats on how much the price increased in college over the last like 15, 20 years. It's insane, dude. It's over 1,000%.
You talking about University of North Texas?
Yeah, I think 40,000 a year is insane.
40,000 sounds high. I don't know. I mean, I just Googled it and it says 11,600 per year for in-state, 23,900. So I guess 24 grand for out of state. I mean,
it's 40 grand. He's like actively doing it right now. He showed us the paperwork. He's choosing between that and UNT or UT.
he's
And they're
in-state.
both just he lives here.
That doesn't sound correct.
And coming from somebody like, I don't even know if I really like. I'm saying, I don't know. I don't even know if I really believe. I don't know if I believe that there's this lived experience that you should have where you're separated from your parents and you go try to figure out a way to live in the real world, and you try to get your shit together and think of something that you can do on the other end of it. But I don't even necessarily know if I believe like the educational system is super beneficial today. What's the success rate in graduates like versus people's success rate that don't go to college? I think these are things that we need to start looking into.
People have looked into it. You still get a huge return on investment for the money you spend on college.
Not over trades. Currently.
That's what I was
What do you
about
mean
to say
by
too.
over trades?
Not over trades. Like, so if you're starting life in debt if you go to college, unless you get it, assuming you don't get scholarships and shit like that. So when you go into like, if you become an electrician or a plumber or stuff like that, you're getting upwards of $200,000+ $200,000 to $300,000, right? After I think 5 years. And so if you go straight from high school as an apprentice and you work your way into the trades, you're way, way, way above the kids that are going to college for a bunch of nonsense degrees, like business majors and stuff like that. Like they're crushing them. So
Yeah.
The Dirty Jobs guy, I highly recommend everybody watching the Dirty Jobs guy. He's got a podcast.
Don't y'all feel
He's
like
incredible.
too, like,
well, I don't know.
What percentage of these programs do you actually really need like a full blown education for? Like what can be taught? Like, all right, whatever you do, right? Like if I, moved out to Texas and I was like, all right, Silver, I want you to teach me what you do. I could probably learn it better than if I were to go to a class for it, especially me with my ADHD.
I would argue, well, so I didn't go to school, and everybody I work with is engineers, and I am by far the worst one. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, now one of our guys is a lead. He didn't go to college. He's amazing. So that could just be brain power. But
well, let me rephrase it. If Dylan, like, because I don't want it to just be about trades, like. Well, I can actually say, like, I've learned a lot from Dylan. I never went to school for business. I never learned anything about finances, but I've learned a lot of these things just from having conversations with Dylan. I don't know if I could necessarily learn how to run a business better in
it's
school.
Called genetic memory.
Well, just from having a relationship with somebody that does it.
I mean,
well, so it's
$40,000 a semester less.
Yeah, dude, a lot of entrepreneurs, almost all the great entrepreneurs didn't go to college. So, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I mean, for STEM, doctors, stuff, I mean, yeah, it's pretty, I mean, like Elon, right? He's a high school guy, right?
Didn't Elon go to college?
Mark Cuban. I mean, dude, almost all, Jeff Bezos. I mean, all the mega billionaires.
Elon went to college.
I don't think,
Queen's University in Canada for 2 years. And then University of Pennsylvania. But okay, I've got a question. I'm not trying to be the fucking, capitalist hater, whatever guy. But do we really think that Elon Musk has done anything consequential, like ever?
No, I'm not going to get into that debate. I'm just saying.
I'm just curious. I'm actually just curious. Like, can you guys think of anything that Elon has done that is like
PayPal is
like an invention?
Well, but he like invested. Like he didn't invent PayPal, did he? Like he was invested in PayPal super early on.
I thought he was part of the 3 people team that did it. I don't know. I don't really know.
I think he's a genius. I think he's a genius.
I'm a bad person to argue for or against it because I just don't know enough about him.
He just comes across as a genius, like one of those freak geniuses.
Or he's just a freak who just made some good investments. I'll give him that. Like, I honestly think the most consequential thing he's done, like, because is just be like kind of a weird tech guy who like a lot of the, like during the time that nerdiness was kind of becoming cool, like was right around the time he came on the scene of things. And he was like, yeah, I've got like flamethrowers and fucking drills and stuff. And, I like space and Mars and all the like, people like me who are like on Reddit and playing video games in high school and like born in the 90s, we're like, damn, this guy's like us and he's loaded. Wow. Like, and then
he's not even the one that stands out as a cool one. It's the other guy, the one that develops all the weapons for our military. And he created Oculus Rift, that guy.
But
he also
the
didn't go to
Oculus is
college.
pretty cool.
But like a bunch of people like that followed Elon, and then Elon like invested in a bunch of companies, and he's really good at hyping up the companies. Like God knows, fucking Tesla's valuation makes absolutely no sense, right? And he's just really good at like hyping shit up.
The way I understood it, Tesla's they're outselling a lot of the major car manufacturers, and their software is in everywhere. And so I think that it kind of makes sense from that standpoint.
Yeah, but
a lot of people love them trucks.
There's a couple things you have to factor in. One is that they're basically trying to bribe you to buy their cars, which is a legit tactic, obviously, especially considering that they have like the subscription model where you pay $100 a month for self-driving. But like my girlfriend bought one and it's like 1% APR. So they're buying down the interest rate for their consumers. So like you're not really... You're not paying full price for the car, basically. Like they're giving you...
And the government subsidized it
for a while they did. But, yeah. I mean, like I said, I think he's a good salesman in his own weird fucking way. But he just like... I mean, I don't think it's there. Like, if you look at the actual profit and earnings of the company compared to the valuation, like, the ratio is insane. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it's... not for a car company. I mean, it's like a a tech company. They say, but
I love how we have way more important things to discuss going on in our country, and then we end up on Elon Musk.
I don't know. I mean, we're all going to agree that Trump is doing a shitty job, so I feel like it's not interesting to talk about.
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I had the most
horrific.
Well, Silver and I are going to disagree about this part, but I was at that birthday dinner last night and somebody brought up the Fauci thing and I was like, oh my God, here we go. And he was like, I asked him how he decides who he voted for. And which I mean, honestly, I guess maybe potentially better than you, Silver. But he said he goes to vote because his wife makes him. And he just like eeny, meeny, miny, mows it.
Ew.
That's so... No.
At least he goes. At least he goes.
Better than Silver. No,
I mean, at least he's got a 50% chance of voting for someone that's not fucking Trump cocksucker.
It doesn't matter who you vote for. We've proven this at this point. It just doesn't. They're all terrible. Like, dude, it's just like the Texas running Tellerico, right? The Tellerico guy. It's all a scam. He's never going to be voted for. So it's like they're running this kid.
I think he's a few points ahead, maybe right now.
It's not going to matter when the real people get out and vote. He's not. He stands no chance.
Yeah, but Paxton is just a loser, bro. Like he's a fucking
that's my point.
He cheated on his wife. He's fucking corrupt, like blatantly corrupt. Like dude, who's excited to go vote for him?
And now they're
talking about Texas.
Yeah,
yeah. It's a joke, dude. Like it's like they're all laughing at us because they're it's up versus down, dude. They don't care.
Who's they?
His
the other countries, you mean?
His people.
Oh my, that's fucking.
Oh, the Jews.
Nelson was trying to instigate an argument between me and somebody at the shop the other day about Israel.
No, it's the elite, dude. They just, I mean, they don't. It's gross. Like, dude, there's no reason to run Tellerico. He has no chance. He stands no chance. Why are they doing that? It's forcing us to vote for another guy that's even just as bad or worse.
That is crazy. A crazy take.
It's true.
He won the primary. That's how it works.
I think that the biggest issue with Silver is Silver thinks that the government in its entirety is inherently bad.
Yes.
Like with evil intent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And are they not? I don't think I subscribe to that.
Not the individuals, but like as organizations as a whole. I mean,
dude, but it's made up of individuals is the problem.
They're doing horrible things with crony capitalism and everything else. It's insane. Dude, it's insane. Why $1.5 trillion is going to the military industrial complex, but yet we're going to focus on taking away
did they pass that funding bill?
That's I mean, what
blame Republicans, bro. They're in charge. Good.
I am.
And yet you're still probably, if you had to vote, you'd still probably vote for Paxton over fucking Tellerico.
No, I'm not voting.
What a privilege.
I love you're stealing my fucking line, Nelson. I
No,
love
there's
saying
no
that when
point.
people say they don't care about politics.
Tellerico's over here trying to do reparations. He wants to do reparations. Like, what? Why would I?
I read it on Twitter in a headline. He said he wanted to do reparations, so he must.
Is that not true?
I don't know, but I'm 100% sure you literally just saw it on a Twitter headline and didn't look any deeper.
No, so if he doesn't, it took on Crockett's plan. He adopted Crockett's plan.
My God.
That's what that was. That's what he said. So if he does that, again, he stands no chance. Why would I vote for that? That's stupid. You're throwing your vote away. He doesn't stand a chance.
So what if he wanted to pay like $1 billion in reparations, but he was down to slash the military budget by $500 billion?
He can't.
What if?
But he can't though.
Silver, activate some neurons in your head. Think about it. What if?
That's a stupid thing. He's not president. He can't do it.
But he would be a congressperson, and his vote would be extremely consequential if Democrats could take the Senate.
But I think that where y'all butt heads a lot too is like Dylan is also dismissive of, like, I don't know how to say this. It's almost like you're dismissive of, like, you think of things that me and him both think of as kind of like big things, especially when you have kids, and you kind of look at it like it's minuscule and it's like not that big of a deal.
Like what?
Like when you start getting into the alphabet boy stuff and you start getting into train talk, and y'all know what I'm saying. Like you're like, man, who cares? Like, and me and him are like, bro, like I don't want the schools to get infiltrated. I don't want, like,
because it doesn't happen. It's just like,
but it doesn't mean that it won't. Like even if Silver says like it is happening, or my wife is like it's happening right here in our backyard, it doesn't mean it won't happen. You know what I mean? The more freedom you give people.
Well, I would say let's handle that when it happens. Because right now we got way crazier shit that's happening. Like, I don't know. I'm of too much.
We can always say that though. I almost feel like that's a cop out at this point. Is just by saying like we got way crazier stuff. Some people, the way crazier stuff is what they're dismissive of. I mean, that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Is like, how do you? Everybody's things are important differently to different people. Like some people don't even care about the wars and stuff that are going on, right? It's just like, it is what it is. It's all good.
I think it's just objectively correct to care more about the things that are actually happening than the things that, like, if we're being so real, there's not going to be a federal policy dictating trans stuff. Like, it just won't happen. Like, it didn't happen under Biden. It's not going to happen under whoever the fuck comes up. They're not going to dictate fucking. I don't know if
I'm willing to say it won't happen.
Come on, dude. Come on. It's not going to happen.
It was sleight of hand.
What was sleight of hand?
The trans talk. That whole movement was a sleight of hand put out by the same people that were being fought against for Occupy Wall Street. That's when it all came out. You can track it. You can take my word for it. People in the chat, look it up.
To say it's not going to happen and to see how much noise it's produced seems like an oxymoron to me. Like, if such a small percentage of people were able to create such loud interactions and make so much noise and such an uproar, it's hard.
But that's because they were amplified by fucking right-wing media, because right-wing media loves somebody to fight against.
Well, then, but then the Democrat Party comes to their defense, and then it makes those people on the right feel like
less so now. I mean,
the liberal, for sure. But
the problem is you don't follow a lot of these big policy people, bro. Like even look at, like, I know this will fucking devolve again, but like if you look at what Kamala said about fucking trans stuff, she didn't even really say shit. There's a reason that they relied on clips of her from like 2019 when she was campaigning, because she hadn't said anything about it on the campaign trail. Because, so like
when she was campaigning in Cali,
so which obviously she's gonna have different policies then when she's campaigning in fucking California compared to the presidency, which I think is a good thing. And I guess some people might not, but
probably no. I agree. I think that's a good thing too.
If you look at, like, even Newsom gets flack because when he's interviewing people, he has like somewhat moderate view on the trans thing. Like you talk about like Pete Buttigieg, good moderate Democrat, talks about how he doesn't think that there should be federal policy on this. It should be left to the states or the districts. Like it.
Maybe that's because they learned, like, oh, this isn't working. We're not going to get votes from trying to appease this group of people.
Well, there you go. Then it's problem solved.
Yeah, maybe.
No, it's largely solved. It's moved right now. The
The Overton window has shifted away from it.
Got it.
Democrats have it in the bag, dude. Trump has fucked up so bad; it's so easy for them to win, and they're gonna fuck it up like they always do.
Probably.
It's just it's all a super joke to me. Like I'll answer your question about Tellerico and reparations. Okay, if you make the companies that benefited from slavery, like J.C. Penney's, all that, right? The people that directly benefited from slavery, okay, which is the companies, make them pay it, but you have to figure out how to decide who is direct descendants of slaves. I'm all for it. But you can't, so it's
you didn't actually answer my question, but whatever.
That is so if they did that, then yeah.
And see, this is one of those things that I feel like not a big deal. I don't care. There's all kinds of money going to all other things that I could care less about. I don't care.
So what about this, Nelson? Did you directly have to pay any tariffs on anything, or do you know if it affected your business, your company at all?
Yeah,
they probably would have because you guys sell a lot of furniture and stuff like that. That's probably made in China. So did your prices have to go up a bunch?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, the tariffs. Did you see the big tariff news that like a bunch of private companies are being refunded their tariff money?
No.
Not us.
Yeah. So it was like $2.2 billion to Apple and $600 million to Amazon, all refunded from the government. Yeah. And we paid that money. Like when you buy something on Amazon for $50 and $3 of those dollars are tariffs.
Yeah.
And Amazon takes it and hands it to the government, and then the government hands it back. That money came from you and is going extra into Amazon's pocket. Same with Costco. Supposedly Costco says they're gonna do some way to refund it to customers, which is super based if they do that. But yeah, it's like $100 billion that Trump illegally tariffed and now is sending back to the big companies.
That's on money that the government doesn't have.
Wow,
it's insane, dude.
Well, I mean, technically it's not their fault because I guess the courts probably ordered them to return it. So.
He knew that.
Admin, but
they told him not to do it.
This is downstream. I was talking with Nelson about how like Trump is not.
Why would they do that instead of giving it back to people on their taxes or whatever?
The problem is there's no way to figure out who it came from, I guess, but it'd be not even if it was just evenly spread.
Crazy.
But yeah, I don't know. It's probably it has to do with the court because technically the money did come from those companies, even though obviously they increased their prices, whatever. But this is all downstream from them just not being good faith operators, like them literally. Yeah. Like, have you seen Silver the new way they're tariffing people? They're doing new tariffs now, and instead of under like emergency authorization, it's because supposedly the places they're tariffing don't care enough about like slave labor or like fair working conditions. So it's like, oh, EU, we're tariffing you because of your supposedly working condition situation, which obviously is literally just another excuse to tariff them. That will get overturned eventually. That the same thing will probably happen again, but they just want to be able to tariff people because Trump likes. Pushing big buttons that piss people off.
Strange.
So, I mean, okay, here. What about this? Because in a perfect world, Silver, you lean more like conservative than liberal, obviously, right? Or progressive, whatever you want to call the other side.
I think I might be, I don't know, I fluctuate between JFK liberal and...
It's a spectrum? You're on a spectrum? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, I go, like one day I'll be JFK liberal. The next day I'll be far right.
I feel like you skew towards weird.
And then sometimes I'm like directly like Dave Smith libertarian. It just kind of depends on my mood.
But so don't you think then, since you're like somewhere like take the Nick Fuentes position, right? Nick Fuentes knows that the more unstable the Republican Party is, the better it is for him because there's more of a chance that people like him can take over the party, right?
Well, but that's if he decides to get into politics.
Well, he doesn't. I don't know if he even wants to get in politics himself. That's why I said people like him because, like, I think he's good at what he does. Once we started seeing tariffs on our lenses from the lab, we perfectly had a tariff. Yeah. Somebody in chat, Joy, is saying that they increased the overall price. Yeah.
Hey, Joy.
So customers basically paid more, and then it goes back to the big companies.
Joy's a Ren fan, I believe.
Oh, I wanted to ask Silver about his shitty Asylum take too. I kept forgetting.
Horrid, dude.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Because I've been
What's my
listening
take
to
on
it.
it?
Do you not like it? Give us your
Oh,
take.
no, I want to hear what y'all said. It's horrid. So what's my take on it?
Well, I'm basing mine on what Nelson said. He said you didn't like it.
Nelson, what's my? What
Oh, he's pulling up the receipts.
He'll never be
Yeah,
able
I'm
to
just
find
gonna
it.
pull it up.
I don't know. Also, Nelson, I will say I listened to Down the Road a couple more times, and I think that one.
That's
might be
what
my
I said.
favorite.
I like 3 or 4 songs, but for the most part, I don't like it, and I wouldn't be a good addition to the thing. That's what I said. So it's like a mid album, super mid.
That's
I
a
don't think
horrible
so.
take.
Yeah, I don't think
That's
so.
a horrible take, bro.
I think
That's
there
a
was
horrible
maybe
take.
one
Four
bad
good
song.
songs.
As a Ren fan and a Chris Webby fan, that's a horrible take. That's like me
4
saying like
songs.
I'm an Eminem fan, but the Marshall Mathers LP, I like 4 songs on it.
No, that you just equated that album to Marshall's LP. That's crazy.
No, I
That's
didn't.
a
I
crazy
didn't
take.
equate it to it. I said the equivalent of you being a Ren fan and a Chris Webby fan both, and saying that you only like 4 songs on that album
Hold
is
on.
the equivalent.
No, that's incorrect. So that's incorrect. The correct way to put that analogy would be the new Eminem album that came out, right? I'm an Eminem fan. The new Eminem album that came out, I only like 3 songs from it. That's the
That
correct
album,
analogy.
the Chris Webby and Ren album, is way better than the Death of Slim Shady.
No, I'm saying I only like
it's a
3 or 4
classic album.
songs.
I know,
all I like
that's-
on it.
Wait, which
fine.
3 or
That's fine.
4?
It's down the road.
Down the Road was great.
Caskets,
Caskets also. Yeah.
Caskets, and then there was the End of the World. Those are the only 3 I like.
You didn't
End of the
like
World was
Dr.
good.
Myers? That's crazy, bro. I just
there might
can't
be one more.
imagine like
There's-
in your
there's
head
one more.
what you were
It's 4.
thinking about.
You didn't like
It's 4. I just can't remember the
the
name of it.
the more like acousticy one, where they had the people with the signs.
Like
There's so many great
I
songs
enjoyed
on that
watching
album.
it. I enjoyed watching the stuff, but it wasn't like I'll never listen to that shit again ever.
Yeah. Bad take.
I've
completely
listened
lost
to
the
that Dr.
politics.
Myers track 100 times. I've listened to Down the Road 100 times.
Well, I'm not
I could
counting
listen
those.
to the
I keep
flow-
listening to
the
Down
flow
the
of
Road.
album. I like the flow of the album in totality better than any song as a standalone. So like I enjoy, that's one of those albums I really enjoy listening to from start to finish.
I think
like,
Cats
just
So
like
here's an
letting it go.
example. Ren's
Cats
album,
fire.
Ren's album that came out before this, right?
Mhm.
The black and red one. That
Mhm.
entire album I loved. His one before that, freckled, whatever, I can't remember, something freckles. That one loved, right? This one comes out and I
Well-
only like 4 songs.
You're talking about the Slaughterhouse album or whatever?
No, that's not out yet.
I'll have to check out.
What
I'll have to
album,
check out
what
those
red
last
one are
two.
you talking about?
The one he won number 1 in UK with.
Let me
It's
see.
the one with higher. It's the one with higher Ren on it.
So I want to go
Freckled
back
Angels
to
is
the,
the first album.
Fuentes thing because I don't know if Fuentes necessarily wants political power, or whatever. I know he wants his people to have it though. So like,
Right.
what don't you think that even if you're just purely going in to vote
Big
for the
boy.
other side, every election basically, it's not good.
Well, he gains popularity. The more the Republican Party fails, the more he gains popularity.
Yeah, but
So
what
he
I'm
could-
saying is like he's also being pragmatic is the thing because he knows that if there's like strong Republican institutions and the Republican Party is very stable, that he basically stands no chance of taking it over. But Trump, did a great job of taking over the Republican Party, obviously within like 10 years. And I think Nick Fuentes obviously sees a path with like Tucker Carlson and Candace and some of these
but
other
the-
people have
but
taken
all
it
of
over.
them- Right, but all of them were espouting the Trump ideology in the beginning. Trump just didn't fall through with any of it. That's why they all back. That's why it
That's not
backfired.
the point. My point is that like he is savvy and he knows that it's good to tell people to vote Democrat right now because he can try to come back in like
he says
2020
that.
or 2030 or whatever. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So why not do that and why not just vote for the opposition every time until one of the
No, I don't
parties
agree with it.
until one of the parties represents what you actually the views you actually hold.
Because I don't agree with that. I think that's a bad plan.
Why?
Well, because I think had we had another 4 years of open border, I think that's catastrophic.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is why not vote the opposite of whoever's in power
Because
every
those
time?
people, those are the ones that opened up the border.
Okay.
So
but-
that's why I don't agree with this premise. Because I watched his debate with Steven Crowder, and I think Steven Crowder beat him.
Watch his debate.
He debated Nick Fuentes on this very question, and I think Steven Crowder won.
Well, the Democrats did try to close the border, if we're being extremely real, which is just a fact. And I think you've conceded to in the past.
but they also opened it, so whatever. They solved their own problem. That's
I
stupid.
feel that way too. I agree with Silver on that. It's like a great job, but you did it. Like it is good, but it's also good to recognize a problem and say, "Oh, whoops, let's fix it," instead of double down in your mistake.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I there were also other, I mean, we can disagree about COVID, whatever, but there were also a bunch of, crazy things happening 21, 22 when Biden first took over. So it's not, I don't think it's as simple as, just solve all the problems day one.
The world is mad. It is a madhouse of a country right now, man. I feel like everything is so crazy.
It's so hard, man, because like I was talking to that guy at dinner and he's like, why doesn't Fauci stop pleading the fifth? And I was like, I don't even know how to fucking broach that topic.
I mean, I don't even get why he's pleading the fifth. That's not the court of law, right?
Well, no, but you can be prosecuted based on because it's sworn testimony, so they can
He's
absolutely.
He's got a pardon for
Not for that though.
future.
Not for that. No, he
Oh, well,
he has a
good. So
pardon
he's-
for his official acts as director of NIAID, his acts as a COVID task force, and one other thing specifically. So if he perjured himself, he would absolutely be accountable. Plus, states can also prosecute him if they wanted to, which clearly they have nothing to prosecute him on. Otherwise, they'd be doing it by now. But the problem,
he did say that he would be willing to make statements and to have these conversations.
Yeah, well, the real problem,
that's part of the problem.
The problem, Nelson, and the thing I didn't want to get into with that guy is that the Department of Justice has shown absolute willingness to create bullshit charges and pursue them, even if they know it won't go anywhere. It's happened a bunch of times. Like, I don't know if you saw, but that Olympic guy who supposedly tore up the reflecting pool and everybody was going on, oh, he cut up the reflecting pool. We're going to throw him under the jail, right? Did you didn't hear anything about that? Okay.
I hear you though.
Okay. Trump made a huge deal. He said that someone cut a 350-foot gash in the reflecting pool, right? No proof of that at all. And they arrested this guy, this former Olympic guy, who was pulling out a chunk of the reflecting pool just because it was floating there, I guess, and he wanted to take a piece as a souvenir or whatever, And everybody knew that he was literally just trying to yank a piece that was already floating. And they arrested him and they said, hey, this guy's vandalizing the reflecting pool. He cut it open, blah, blah, blah. And he was like the poster child for like, we're crucifying this guy because we're making up that, the reflecting pool got vandalized. Well, Friday, the federal prosecutor, not only did they drop it, but the federal prosecutor, Jeanine Pirro, ex-Fox News host, for DC literally said, we just got news from the Department of Interior, who manages this stuff, that there's no evidence of vandalism and that all the evidence we have indicates that it was due to a botched installation of the thing.
Which who did that?
Which
Trump administration.
Yeah, one of
Trump's that Trump hired.
Yeah, he's a weird guy. But like
it's a scam. They're covering up their own scam. Their own.
Yeah, but the problem is that this has happened time and time again where there's bullshit charges and they'll go after them and they're the federal government. They have infinite of our money. So they can just prosecute people infinitely.
Yeah.
Like literally they tried to prosecute James Comey like 3 or 4 different times with different people at this point. So why the fuck would you ever give them anything that they could remotely try to prosecute you on? That's the problem.
Cameras, data centers.
Oh my God. This is a problem with Silver is he's all triggered me.
I do feel it. I don't know, man. I do get why people want somebody to be held accountable for all of that, man. If you look back at a single point in time where our country started to head in a direction that nobody's really happy with, it was then. And people want somebody to be held accountable for that.
What?
It was it was after World War II, but large part it was Reagan.
No, man,
he has
modern.
Fauci has testified to Congress before. I'm saying the reason he won't now is because it's like if the police called you in for questioning and you knew for a fact that the police hated your guts and would try to hammer you on anything that you told them, you'd plead the fifth no matter what, even if they asked you a benign question, right? Because as soon as you give them, oh, that carpet is pink, not red. Oh, you're perjuring or who knows? Like, well, maybe honestly,
they should
who
work
knows?
on giving him some sort of because just because the country wants to see somebody held accountable, that maybe I don't know if they really want to get to the bottom of everything. Maybe they need to work out some kind of a deal.
I'll just say this. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to argue about COVID. because history proved I was right, and you won't ever
Oh my
concede
God,
that, so it's fine.
no, it's
So
not true.
Obama agreed that gain of function was crazy, shut it down. Then Mr. Fauci went around him and funded the Wuhan lab through the IC, whatever, and was doing it illegally, right? Just
I
that
don't think
alone, we
that's
know that for a
true.
fact.
I don't
Oh,
think
fuck.
that's true.
I wouldn't put it past. I don't like Fauci. I don't like anything about him. I never liked him. I didn't like him then. I don't like him now. I feel like he's a snaky, slimy dude, bro.
Yes.
Like,
Who was the bad guy during the AIDS pandemic for the exact same playbook that happened during COVID?
Sorry, I'm trying to. I know you like Grok, so I was using Grok to fact check you.
I don't. I try not to use all that shit anymore.
that
I
was
don't.
fun.
I try not to. I use it for stupid shit like
Maybe you should
calculating
just not
weights.
use Twitter as a whole.
I don't really get on that much anymore, dude.
Good.
I really don't.
Yeah,
Probably
he doesn't
better.
even like talking about this stuff anymore. You can tell in his
Well,
tone. He doesn't.
he brought it up.
God.
I said to Grok, did Fauci illegally fund gain of function research? Grok said no. There's no established finding that Fauci, as NIAID director, illegally funded gain of function research.
This has come out in the hearings over and over again. They've called him out for it.
Well,
that's why he got the immunity. What do you?
I don't know. I don't know enough about gain of function shit.
Then why did he get the immunity? Why did he get the pardon?
Because Biden, in all of his based wisdom, knew that Trump and his DOJ
wisdom?
were is
You're a nut,
infinite
bro.
wisdom. Biden just being unfathomably prophetic and I don't know, just amazing in every way. Knew that fucking Trump's DOJ was going to go after people with malicious prosecutions, and so he pardoned people like him ahead of time.
Why do you think Trump is not actually going to get rid of the pardon thing? Because he's going to do the exact same thing for his people. Because he could actually try to overturn this shit through the auto pen and go after Fauci. The
auto pen's
the
bullshit.
same Fauci that he gave a reward to.
Everyone uses the fucking auto pen. As the president, you're not going to sign every fucking document.
No, I said pursue it. I didn't say he was successful. I said he could try to pursue it.
But they did. Nothing came of it. They did try to pursue the auto pen thing, and nothing came of it. I distinctly remember it being dropped.
Well, there's a recent article that Trump referenced, and they interviewed him about it. And he said, "Why aren't you going after Fauci using blah 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 blah?" And he said he's not going to do it.
Trump is like a toddler. He can't think of the future. I don't think. Like, I actually don't think he's capable. Like, I mean, I agree with you in the sense that like he's probably going to blanket pardon everybody with even more sweeping pardons than Biden did. I mean, he's going to have to.
It's going to be egregious, dude. It's going to be egregious. We live in a banana republic. It's insane.
Yeah, no.
Did neither one of y'all see Spider-Man?
I think I'm going to see it tonight if there's open seats.
Oh my god!
I wanted to see it earlier, but I wouldn't have been able to make this in time. So.
Nelson, have you played the Spider-Man game?
It's hard to get a seat, man.
The first one, the Tobey Maguire one, I played.
No, bro, the video game on PS5.
I know.
No.
I played it on. I don't have a PS11. I had the PS1 or PS2 is what I had.
Okay, the point is,
all right.
The point is, no matter how good this movie is, it still won't touch that game that came out in 2018.
Well, listen, a lot of I hear you, but a lot of the gamer people are speaking highly of this movie because they said that like their complaints were heard. There was a lot of people that were like, "You should make it more like this. Make the web slinging more like it is in the game. Make the fighting scenes more like it is in the game. Get the story to be more." And a lot of people in their reviews even said that this movie seemed like a video game.
Well, it's what's crazy
to me because that's like what you're saying, but a lot of the gamer dudes are like super happy with it. They're thrilled.
The reason why I say that is because there's something a movie can never do, which is like when you're watching the movie, you're a witness. When you're playing the game, you're a participator. Like you're part of the story. So it's a feeling that's different. But
for sure,
what I will say, which is crazy to me, is why and how, and I don't understand this, is Spider-Man such a crazy. So he's always been the most popular character throughout all of comic history, and I don't quite understand why. I think it's cool. I'm not like hating. I'm curious as to why he's so cool, like to people.
I think it's just relatable. He's the most relatable. I mean, he's goofy, but he's also cool. Limited friendships. He's not friends with the whole world. He makes mistakes and he figures out ways to get out of his mistakes. And I will say that Tobey Maguire, to me, during that trilogy, being like in the movie theaters and stuff like that, I didn't see the hype, dude. I thought Tobey Maguire was super lame. I didn't like Tobey
I
Maguire
agree.
Yeah, but they were
as
like some of the
Spider-Man
first superhero
until No Way
movies.
Home.
They
I
kind of
know,
like
no,
paved the
but
way.
I was kind of a fan of Blade though. Like I've always liked
Blade's the
dark.
OG.
Yeah, I've always liked dark comics. So that's why I like the Dark Knight series so much. I'm a fan of like the dark side of things. And this Spider-Man was almost reminiscent of like a Batman movie to me, where it's, oh man, it's so good. I don't want to ruin anything, but it's so
What's
good.
weird though is because I join a lot of gaming podcasts and stuff, and all of those dudes, the reviews are so mixed. Some people are saying it's the best Spider-Man. Some are saying it's the worst Spider-Man. Some people are saying it's better than all the Marvel movies. Some are saying it's the worst one. It's like it's so crazy.
I think realistically, like not trying to be a hype man, I think that I do think it's the best Spider-Man film ever. As far as Marvel movies are concerned, I think it's just the best. It's the best Marvel movie since like Endgame. And speaking of which, which is even crazier to me, I think so. But what's even crazier is it's the highest grossing superhero movie of all time now. It just surpassed Endgame.
No, dude, it's the highest grossing domestic film of all time.
Domestic, yeah.
Well, based on one day, I think.
It was like 330 million, and Endgame was like 319
like
million.
starting weekend. Well, are they factoring in inflation?
Well, that's nuts, bro. I mean, movies have really been struggling at the box office lately. You know, Fantastic Four didn't do very well. What's it called? The Thunderbolts, which I loved. I thought that was a really good movie too. Thunderbolts, the New Avengers or whatever, that was really good.
I thought it was.
I was just
surprised
surprised to see like how well it's doing, dude.
Silver, how do you feel about
a lot of replay value?
How do you feel about the THC changes in Texas? $10,000 fine for a gram of weed.
So from what I was reading, I don't. So I'm a little. So first of all, clarify some things. What I was under the impression of is real marijuana is still a misdemeanor, but all the synthetic shit is now a felony. First of all, clarify that.
Well, the problem is that
that's what it should be.
The problem is it depends on your definition of synthetic, because there's a bunch of THCA products that are literally indistinguishable from marijuana. Like THCA literally just is marijuana. But
no, it's the crystals. It's the crystals that get you that activate the high, right? So, from what I was understanding, is the synthetic version.
Pretty close. The crystals don't activate the high. The heat activates the high. Or
I'm saying THC is a crystal under a microscope. It's a crystal that you burn that makes you activates your high. That's what THC is. It's from the milk plant.
THCA is specifically A, not the other ones, but THCA specifically is like it's like premature. So when you light it, it just becomes.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But it's a crystal under a microscope. So my point is they take that and they synthesize it.
With you. Yeah.
So when you synthesize it, that's when it becomes super bad. People are having all kinds of like issues. So the father, if I understand the law correctly, and again, that's why I'm asking for clarification. The synthetic version, Delta 8, Delta 9, is not real marijuana.
Delta 9 is not synthetic. Okay. Well, let me just explain.
Delta 9 is regular marijuana.
Yeah, Delta 9 is
Delta 8 is synthetic.
So, okay, a regular marijuana plant has all of these cannabinoids, Delta 8, Delta 10, Delta 9, all these things in at least small concentrations, okay? So those all exist within your average marijuana plant. The most commonly occurring is Delta 9 THC, okay? The precursor to Delta 9 THC is called THCA. It's basically the same, but it has an extra carboxyl group. If you look at the like molecular structure, it's almost identical. It just has a little extra chain on the end. It's like carbon, oxygen, whatever, I think. But when it heats up, that chain breaks off and it turns into just regular Delta 9 THC. So what a lot of these companies do, instead of selling Delta 9 products, which obviously are, medical or illegal in a lot of places, is they cut the plants early before the THCA got to convert into Delta 9 THC. And magically, even though it's the same exact weed plant, the same exact, granddaddy, OG Kush, whatever the fuck, it was legal because it technically didn't have a high Delta 9 THC concentration.
I keep reading mixed reports. Here's my ultimate stance. the government always wants tax money. They wanted all the bullshit, right? So it's like, why don't we take after one of the great states that does things, a lot of things right, which is Alaska. So you decriminalize it or you legalize marijuana. Okay,
Random.
well, I'll explain it. It's not random at all. So you take the inventory, or you take the tax revenue that you gain off of legalizing marijuana in Texas, right? And then you can take a portion of those proceeds and distribute it back to the people, because that's what Alaska does with oil. So everybody shares in profits like that. We could do that. There's lots of ways you can do this. Other than the government, big daddy government, going against 70% of their constituents. Because 70% of Texans did not want this. They did it through some back alley way and bullshit. One of the guys that wants to come on this podcast, he's a journalist. He wrote it. He did a big piece about it. So I'm 100%
know all that
against
shit works. The problem is nobody cares enough to vote out the people that have the R next to their name in Texas over shit like this. And until they actually do that.
No, because a lot of them, this is where the dupe came in, because a lot of people were voting for that reason, that were trending towards that way. Dude, Rogan,
well, then they need to vote out the fucking incumbents next go around and remember this shit.
Rogan talked with Abbott twice and talked about it on the podcast that was one of his main issues that he was working on it. And they went around. I was just telling you, it's Fucksville. Like, again, you're just pointing to my point. These people do not like you. They hate you. They don't care about you. They don't. Dude, 70% of the Texans did not want this.
All right, Nelson has to go, but A plus B does not equal the C that you're saying it does.
What? How not?
I would love for y'all to see Spider-Man so that we can talk about that.
Right,
I will not see it until it comes out.
I guess Silver and I can say
okay, for a second. There's leaks, but you should watch it in like as high definition.
I feel like superhero movies and shit like Avatar and stuff definitely warrants watching in big screen.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, nah.
I don't fuck with Spider-Man like that, so I don't really care.
I don't know, man. Like, I've really grown to really love my home theater setup, man, and I really don't. I swear to God, I think it would have looked better on my screen at home.
If you got Sonos 5s at home, then fuck yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, I don't have them connected to my home theater.
What?
I have.
Why not?
I have ones connected to them because I like using them for music, bro. I have one in my bedroom and I have one in the hallway. I don't even have them connected, but I have.
Spend $600, not even use it for a fucking home theater.
I don't need them, bro. My living room is pretty small. I have the Arc Ultra, the sub, the big sub, and then I have the 2 ones behind me for surround. And then upstairs, I did think about connecting the 5s to the front, but it would be too much, bro. Like, my wife would hate that. It's very loud as it is. And then upstairs, I have the Beam with the Sub Mini, and just those two. Honestly, they sound surprisingly.
You need to get a Sonos sponsorship, bro.
And I have the 77-inch Samsung OLED TV, which suits specifically for superhero movies, looks really, really good.
That is so overkill. Jesus.
No, it's so good, bro. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I hate going to the movies because I feel like, you know what I mean? It's not even like we went and saw Moana recently, and I was like, girls, y'all would have liked this better at home, you know?
I don't. I hate going to theaters. I've always hated going to theaters. Now there is times where like it's cool to be with the crowd and the energy. Like we saw
Spider-Man.
That could be one. Twisters
it was
40X. Twisters and 40X was absolutely phenomenal. But you know, it's so hard to get tickets to 40X. That's what I want to go see Spider-Man in, is 40X.
Okay, I want to take just 1 minute just to say that on the Sonos at work, it's literally playing my song to my daughter, and it's her birthday, and I'm starting to feel guilty. So I got to go. Her song is called Yellow by Coldplay, by the way. That's my song to her.
Good night. Take care, everyone.
I love you guys. Y'all be safe.
All right, see y'all. I'm going to go see Spider-Man.
Y'all tell me you love me too, bro.
Oh, love you too, Nelson. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Joy said they all end up being a disappointment. They all look good until they're in office. Then the stuff we don't know or not enough people understand gets hold. Bills need to stop. I mean, I agree. But the problem is, Joy, is that the way the system is set up kind of incentivizes that, right? Like, if I say I want to pass a budget and I know Silver wants to legalize marijuana and I can get Silver to vote for my budget through legalizing marijuana, then I have to like add a bunch of extra shit and then multiply Silver times 100. If I need 100 more votes, then I end up with fucking 100 different things on the bill just to pass my one budget, which is kind of part of the problem. which
Yep.
I think is good and bad, because you want to, like, if you're in the minority in government, like, you want them to need your vote still, and you want to be able to get things for your people theoretically, through stuff like that. So I think it's good and bad. I think we're on the harmful end of it, though. Like, I think there's like a healthy version where bills have like maybe 10 things instead of 1,000 or whatever, and they slide in random bullshit that nobody ever knows is even on there until the end. But I mean, I think there's like an inherent disappointment in all of politics anyways, where like, of course they're going to make the strongest possible claim. Like, they're not going to be like, I'm going to try my best when I'm in office. They're going to be like, we're going to fix all the problems. So of course there's only ever going to be disappointment from there. But
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, the problem is that if you have reasonable messaging, it doesn't work well. Like, if I go and I say, I'm going to try my best to do good things for everybody, whoever the fuck is next to me who's like, yeah, I'm going to give you all $1 million is going to win probably, even though he's lying through his teeth.
We can start with drain the swamp, and then you added more swamp and more creatures to go into the swamp. We can just start there. That's and the fact that there's still people out there that are forever Trumpers is insane to me.
Yep.
But
you're still forever will never vote Democrats. And I think that's just as insane as being a forever Trumper.
No, I said current Democrats.
Yeah, they're not even as bad as you pretend they are, though. They're not nearly as bad as fucking Republicans right now.
I would have voted for Spencer Pratt, and he was a Democrat.
Not a real Democrat, though. Come on.
He's been a Democrat his whole life. What's not
He
real
ain't
about that?
Real Democrat, bro. The way that guy now.
What are you talking about? He's been a Democrat his entire life. He talked about it openly. Never once voted. My point is that I would have voted for him. So like, there's.
Was he running as a Republican?
No.
What? I think you're unhinged on this.
Unless he had to, but he's been a Democrat his whole life.
Okay.
I thought he was running I thought he was trying to do. Yeah, he was running I'm almost positive he was running as a Democrat. And he lost with the overnight count.
Oh my God! Every time with the alleged voter fraud.
I'm just telling you that's what happened. So anyway, I would have voted for that dude if I was in California.
Do you know anything about any other like John Ossoff here in Georgia? Our guy. I mean, he's normal, man. He's just a normal dude.
I don't really know. I just fuck with Thomas Massey heavy, and he got outed, because your people spent $30 million to get him out. So, goodbye to the best guy we've ever had. So, awesome.
All right. I had a point for you, but I can't even think of it anymore. So whatever.
I apologize.
That's fine. It's just cooked my brain on this Overton window bullshit that we'll never ever agree on.
At least we agree though, more so that we don't.
Yeah, but you still won't vote
for now.
Because I've been 100% vindicated on everything I said since we've started our podcast on the Trump thing, just on how bad Trump would be and how bad he is.
Yeah, but you were directionally correct, but you weren't right about some of the reasons why. Because you wouldn't focus on the stuff that I did. Like I didn't vote for him because he was bad on COVID. But you think he was bad on COVID for different reasons than I did.
I don't think on this. I don't think I've ever said anything about Trump and COVID through the time.
Well, I'm using it as an example.
I mean, most of my criticisms of Trump are like corruption, blatant corruption.
But that's also why I didn't vote for him, though. I struck it, especially in the first term. I didn't vote for him because
general.
Of
well, my main criticism of him is just like destruction of our institutions and trust in our institutions. But the thing is, you don't care about our institutions, and you don't trust. Yeah, exactly. So
it's different. It's weird
because our institutions are based, Silver. They're great for the most part.
Well, that's where I struggle because we have peace of mind when we step outside. Right. So because we have all these institutions in place, like with school zones and like the water department, and like we have all these regulations that do help society. And you can see that's evident whenever the World Cup's here and you have other people coming here saying how great it was, right? So like it opens your eyes to like we're too into the weeds and we're not taking a step back going, we actually do have it really good despite all these negative things, right? So that's where I fight with myself about my own libertarian views. But so I don't, I guess I shouldn't say I hate all institutions, right? But I hate the corruption across the board that's interwebbed into all of it.
The problem is
and waste.
And I appreciate that you have that point of view. Because, yeah, I mean, you're right. There's a lot of stuff that nobody ever sees that is very important. Like, I don't know. I read this book, and it's the lamest book known to man, but it's called Who is Government? And it's like little mini essays on a bunch of these like federal government employees that do like just these exceptional things that nobody ever fucking talks about.
Right.
There's like an IRS
probably
special investigator who created like unique new ways to track crypto and locked away like God knows like how many like, you know, child sex offenders and terrorists and, you know, like literally they hacked. There was like some terrorist organization that set up a website where you could donate to them, and they literally hacked it and they rerouted the money back to the IRS and took the money and gave it to the victims of those terrorists, which is just like the most awesome thing ever. So right? It's like, and nobody talks about that guy. Oh, and
so that's amazing. In the same way that people will say all lawyers are bad, right? But then you have Erin Brockovich, who's literally like God's gift to humanity. And so she's out. Not enough people talk about her anymore. She was huge back in the day, but like she's out right now fighting for us with data centers, right? So I mean, like there's people like that too, and that's to your point about the individuals that are awesome within government or you know lawyers, whatever.
But the problem, there's a lot of awesome individuals that just keep their heads down and do their jobs and just don't give a fuck about the politics. Like the federal government historically, like there's a ton of people you can go through, just tons and tons of people, has not been a politicized institution, like just in general. Like
sure
that one Driscoll guy, Brian Driscoll or something, talked about, he was a huge CIA guy, I think, and he talked about how like lacking in politics everything was. And then when Trump came in, or maybe it was an FBI guy, he was talking about how Kash Patel was like, who did you vote for in 2020? And the guy's like, what are you like? I'm not answering that question, you fucking psycho. So
yeah, I think one of either Tucker or Sean Ryan interviewed him recently. I'm pretty sure, and he talked about that.
Yeah, Brian Driscoll.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think that you know there's so much waste and fraud and all this shit that needs to be addressed because we're in debt, and the only way to solve this is to quit the spending. Like you talk to anybody, I don't care what level in the government they are, or not government, but with military. Like you could be a grunt, say, hey, what's some things that cost a lot of money in the military that we could like save money on? They're like, oh God, they do this, they do this. Anybody in the military will tell you like 10 things that are crazy that spend a lot of money. Like there's so many ways to cut the cost, but we never do it. We just increase it. It never gets better. Same thing with all the education systems and how they rig that shit with the books and how the professors have to write this book. And then there's just so much corruption and shit that it's just like,
the problem is that a lot of the time with stuff like that, you don't know what you don't know. Like if you ask some shitter fucking, you know, grunt, you know, private, whatever, like, hey, what do you think's wasteful? There might be perfectly good reasons. And I don't want to, go too deep into defending the military spending because I'm sure there is wasteful stuff. But I'm sure if you ask your average private, like, what do you think is wasteful? That probably 80% of what they say, there's probably a good reason for. Like,
there's not. Have you heard like of how much hammers cost and shit? Like, dude, it's insane. There's no rhyme or reason for it. Like, go look at the difference in price of missiles, the exact same missiles over the last 25 years. The increase. It's insane. Like, dude, it's just there's no rhyme or reason for it. Like, it's just black money, basically.
But I was talking. So there was another story in that book. They were talking about how they're developing deep space cameras. Or deep space telescopes, trying to like replace Hubble basically, and they're trying to develop a system where they can, because they're trying to look for habitable planets basically in other solar systems. The problem is that most of the times habitable planets are close to suns, and you can't really look at a sun and see what's close to it. You know what I mean? Because they're so bright. Obviously, it drowns everything out. So they're trying to come up with different systems to where they can, like, block out the light so where they can see what's close to the sun. And they have two different ways. And basically, they talk about how they're developing these two radically different technologies to try to look at what's close to suns. But like, you could easily classify that as wasteful. You could say like, hey, why are we trying to develop two when one is good enough and we're only ever going to use one in the main product?
I wouldn't say that.
But but there's an easy.
People do.
Right. That's the thing is like you can be nitpicky if you want, but there could be very valid reasons, and there could be good benefits from just I forget what they call it, but just like scientists, studying through curiosity or curiosity-driven research, rather, is what they said.
So I'm talking about like toilet paper and shit like that. It's astronomical how much this shit costs. Like, whenever you're buying in large bulk, it should be cheaper. Or like how the Marines will pay XYZ company to look into creating something. So they have to pay them to look into creating a new technology for a weapon or whatever, right? They create it and then they have to buy it, even though they're the ones that funded the research. They have to buy it for an exuberant amount of money. Like, it's just wasteful money. There's so much of that, dude.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is it might be cheaper than which, I mean, you're probably right. I mean, hell, you should look at Mamdani's, what Mamdani was talking about with cutting funds, because he basically said the same thing. He said they were privatizing a bunch of things that didn't need to be privatized, and that it would have been cheaper if they just found a way to do it in-house with the government. So,
but the government never does a good job of that.
So make up your mind then. Should the government make it themselves, or should they pay somebody else?
No, I'm saying crony capitalism. When you have them feeding each other, when you have capitalism feeding the government and vice versa, that's when you have problems. That's the problem.
How do you fix that?
Austrian economics talks about this.
Yeah, but you're a libertarian as well, so make up your
mind.
That's
Austrian, but libertarians go off the Austrian economics though. You can go start listening to Liberty Lockdown. You'll really like him. He goes over all this stuff.
If he's a libertarian, he'll make me want to die because he probably still loves Trump somehow.
No, he's super good. He was one of the early ones to go be against him.
God bless him.
Yeah, Liberty Lockdown is a really good channel. You'll really like it. But he got kind of stuck on the Candace Owens thing for a while, which is annoying. So I stopped watching because I don't care about that.
I don't understand. I'm sure she's still going on about that shit too. Is she?
It's
or has
so
she
crazy,
found
dude.
a new bone?
I don't care, dude. I don't care. Like I just don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't fucking care. There's so much more important things to worry about.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go see Spider-Man so Nelson can stop bugging me about it. Good talking to you, buddy.
I'll see it in a year when it comes out to digital.
All right. See you, man.
Later.